employee clicked a fake email. Imagine this. You just arrived at the office, you opened up your laptop, and your inbox is, well, it's already overflowing.
Oh, yeah, the classic Monday morning chaos.
Right. I mean, meetings are lined up, Slack messages are pinging everywhere, and then an urgent email pops up at the very top of your screen. It says, urgent, your account will be locked in 10 minutes. Click here immediately to verify your details.
And, it looks completely flawless. It has your company's exact logo perfectly placed right there at the top.
Yeah, the formatting is totally crisp, very professional.
Exactly. And it even has an official-looking signature from your IT department. So without even thinking, you just click the link.
You type in your username and password. And
a few seconds later, the page refreshes.
Right, and you realize something is terribly wrong. Like, was it a glitch or just a mistake?
Or did your company's highly sensitive credentials just land directly in the hands of a cybercriminal?
Yeah, that scenario, it isn't just a hypothetical drill. I mean, it is happening thousands of times a day.
Oh, absolutely. Constantly.
So today on the Deep Dive, we are looking at the exact anatomy of these attacks. We're unpacking what really happens when an employee clicks a fake email.
Which is never a good day.
Right. And we'll get into the psychological manipulation cybercriminals use to force that click and how you can, become the ultimate first line of defense.
Because the stakes here, they have never been higher. We aren't just talking about a minor computer virus or some simple prank anymore.
No, definitely not.
Modern phishing is a highly sophisticated industry. It's designed to steal logins, siphon banking information, access confidential company databases.
Basically the worst case scenario.
Exactly. Or they secretly install malware that can move laterally across an entire corporate network. Honestly, a single click is often all it takes to initiate a massive multi-million-dollar breach.
Which, begs an interesting question. Why are we talking about fake emails instead of complex state-of-the-art computer viruses?
That's a great question.
Because we always picture cybercriminals as these elite hackers, right?
Sure.
Typing furiously in dark hoodies, breaking through complex firewalls. Why bypass the computers to target the humans?
Well, because that image of the hacker breaking through a firewall is largely just a Hollywood myth at this point.
Wait, really? Just a myth?
Yeah, pretty much. Modern corporate firewalls, encryption standards, zero-trust architectures, they are incredibly resilient. Bypassing them directly requires finding zero-day vulnerabilities.
Which I'm guessing is hard to do.
Incredibly difficult. It's time-consuming and hugely expensive. Attackers, at the end of the day, are businessmen.
Huh. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah. Why spend months and millions of dollars trying to pick an unpickable digital lock when you can just target the human sitting behind the keyboard?
Right. So instead of picking the lock on the fortress door, they're basically dressing up in a uniform, pretending to be a trusted delivery driver, holding a clipboard, and simply asking you to open the door for them.
Exactly. That is the perfect analogy. Phishing is really just the practice of pretending to be a trusted entity.
Like a manager or the HR department.
Or a trusted supplier, yeah. Just to trick a human into handing over the keys.
And
those uniforms they wear, they're getting incredibly sophisticated.
How so?
Well, attackers use automated scraping tools to dynamically pull company assets directly into their phishing templates.
Wow, so they automate the forgery.
Completely. They scrape your website for logos, color schemes, font styles, all to create pixel-perfect HTML clones of your internal portals, and they do it at an industrial scale.
Oh, wow. So the old advice of, look for the blurry logo is completely obsolete.
100% obsolete.
I think that is a massive mistake a lot of employees make. We trust the visual wrapper of the email, right? We see the corporate letterhead, and our brain immediately just categorizes it as safe.
Which is exactly why you cannot trust that visual wrapper anymore. A professional-looking login template can be bought for a few dollars on the dark web.
Or generated by an AI in seconds, probably.
Exactly. They rely on what's called the optimism bias.
Optimism bias.
Yeah, it's that dangerous employee mindset of, well, this will never happen to me. They know that an employee who is rushing through their morning is going to make the fatal assumption that a legitimate-looking logo equals a legitimate request.
That actually brings up a fascinating point about the psychology of the click. Because even with a perfect visual clone, you still have to convince a smart, capable professional to, bypass their own logic. How do they actually do that?
By inducing what psychologists call an amygdala hijack.
Wait, amygdala hijack? That sounds intense. What is that?
It is intense. Basically, in that 3-second window after you read an alarming email, your prefrontal cortex, which is the logical, analytical part of your brain, essentially shuts down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, your brain's threat response center just takes over completely. Attackers are basically amateur psychologists. They know that if they can trigger an immediate emotional response, they win.
So they use fear.
Fear and urgency, those are their primary weapons.
Hence the fake email saying, your account will be suspended. Click this link immediately.
Precisely. They create an artificial ticking clock. When humans feel threatened or rushed, our critical thinking just plummets.
We just want the problem to go away.
Right. We want to resolve the anxiety immediately, so we click.
Okay, so fear makes complete sense. We want to protect our livelihood and our network access. But what about the times we aren't scared?
What do you mean?
Well, I've seen phishing emails that promise, unexpected bonuses or fake delivery notifications for packages. It seems like they don't just use the stick, they use the carrot too.
Oh, absolutely. That relies on the curiosity trigger, and honestly, it is devastatingly effective.
Really? More than fear?
Sometimes, yeah. Think about a real-life workplace scenario. Imagine you receive an email with an attachment labeled confidential Q3 executive bonus details.
Oh, I would totally want to open that.
Right. Human beings are naturally curious creatures. We want to know about potential payouts or office gossip.
Yeah, we just can't help ourselves.
Exactly. That curiosity completely overrides our digital hygiene. So instead of confirming with HR through an official communication channel, people just download the attachment.
And downloading that attachment is exactly how malware enters a computer, right? I mean, it isn't always about a fake login page stealing your password.
Absolutely not. That attachment could easily contain a malicious macro embedded in a seemingly normal spreadsheet.
Sneaky?
Very. The moment you open it to view those fake bonus details, it quietly executes code in the background, establishing a hidden backdoor for the attacker.
Okay, so we have fear and we have curiosity. But there's a third trigger that I think is honestly the most insidious of all, and that's authority.
Oh, the authority trigger is huge.
Right. Let's say you get an email that appears to be from the CEO. It says they are traveling, they can't be reached by phone, and they need you to urgently process a wire transfer for a new supplier invoice. What would you do?
The CEO wire transfer scam is an absolute classic. Because the source seems so authoritative and highly important, employees naturally just lower their guard.
Because nobody wants to be the bottleneck holding up the CEO's urgent request.
Nobody. You want to look good for the boss.
It's incredibly ironic, isn't it? Our desire to be good, responsive employees, acting fast on an urgent request from IT, or quickly handling a fake invoice from a supplier, that exact professionalism is what makes us most vulnerable.
It really is. They are literally weaponizing our desire to do a good job.
Weaponizing helpfulness? That's so frustrating.
It is, which means we really have to train ourselves to look past the emotion and become digital detectives. We need to look for the warning signs that the attackers cannot easily fake.
Okay, like what? What's the biggest one?
The most crucial one is the sender's actual email address, not just the display name.
Right, because the display name might say, in big bold letters, Company IT Support Team. But if you actually expand that name to reveal the routing address, you might see something bizarre.
Like what?
Like it.support@company-security123.com. I mean, it looks vaguely official if you're just skimming it, but it's not your company's actual internal domain.
Exactly. Or attackers will use what we call homograph attacks. They will register a domain name that replaces a lowercase letter L with the number 1, or uses Cyrillic characters that look completely identical to Latin letters.
Oh, that's devious.
It visually tricks the eye if you aren't looking closely.
Wait, I need to push back here for a second.
Sure.
What if the email actually does come from my CEO's real email address? Like, I've read about accounts getting fully taken over by hackers. Looking at the domain wouldn't save me then, right?
That is a brilliant point, and what you are describing is business email compromise, or BEC.
Okay, BEC.
Yeah. If an attacker has already phished your CEO's credentials, they can log into the real account and send internal emails that are technically 100% legitimate.
So what do you do then?
In those cases, you cannot rely on checking the sender address. You have to rely on context and tone.
Context meaning, does this request actually make sense?
Exactly. Does your CEO normally email you directly asking to purchase 50 iTunes gift cards?
Probably not.
Right. Or does HR usually handle failed salary payments via some obscure web link instead of the normal internal payroll system? You have to look for highly unusual requests or extreme deviations in tone.
Makes sense.
And historically, we also told people to look for spelling and grammar errors.
Yeah, the old look for bad English rule.
Yeah.
But I have to imagine that with generative AI everywhere now, that advice is essentially dead.
It is entirely obsolete. I mean, AI grammar tools allow attackers from anywhere in the world to draft perfectly localized, highly convincing, error-free text.
Wow.
You can no longer rely on typos to save you. Instead, you really need to rely on technical mechanisms, for example, hovering over links.
Ah, yes. Hover, don't click.
Yes. Before you click any button or link, just physically rest your cursor over it. Your web browser or email client will show a small pop-up displaying the actual destination URL.
So if the email claims to be a secure Microsoft password reset, but the hover link shows a random string of characters hosted on an unrecognized server in another country.
It's a trap. Attackers use URL redirection to hide their true destination.
Okay, let's do a quick safety check. A mental true or false for you listening right now. True or false? If your company's IT department detects suspicious activity on your account, they will email you a secure link to confirm your current password.
Let me jump in here. That is categorically false. And this is a golden rule of cybersecurity right here. No genuine IT department, no legitimate bank, no authentic service will ever ask you to send your password through an email.
Never, ever.
For never. And they won't ask you to log in through an unsolicited link either. Your password is your digital key. If an email asks for it directly, it is a scam. Period.
Okay, so we verify the actual sender domain, we check the context, we hover over the links. But let's talk about the elephant in the room here.
Okay, shoot.
What if it was too late? What if you were stressed, you were rushing to a morning meeting, and you just made a mistake? You clicked the link, you entered the password, code red. What is the immediate step-by-step emergency protocol to minimize the damage?
This is the most critical moment of the entire process, because recognizing your mistake quickly can drastically reduce the blast radius of the attack.
So what's step one?
If you click, you must immediately follow a step-by-step emergency response. Step 1. Stop interacting with the email immediately. Close the malicious browser tab. If a file is downloading, cancel it right away.
Just stop the bleeding.
Exactly. Disconnect your machine from the internet if you suspect you downloaded malware.
Basically, stop digging the hole.
Yes, step away from the shovel. Step 2. Report the incident to your IT or cybersecurity team immediately. Do not hide it out of embarrassment.
I want to pause right here with an analogy because I feel like the instinct to hide a mistake is universally human, right?
Totally. Nobody wants to look dumb.
Exactly. But think of a corporate network like a massive hospital. If a doctor accidentally gets exposed to a highly contagious virus, trying to hide it because they feel foolish is the absolute worst possible thing they can do.
Oh, for sure.
It puts the entire hospital at risk. Reporting your mistake to IT isn't about getting a slap on the wrist. It is the quarantine protocol. It isolates the infection. You are actually being a hero by reporting it quickly.
That is a phenomenal way to look at it. A culture of rapid, blame-free reporting is absolutely essential. Early reporting is the only way the security team can revoke those stolen credentials before the attacker establishes a permanent foothold.
And before they start moving laterally through the network.
Exactly. Now, step 3, assuming you still have access, is to change your password immediately.
And we are talking about a real password change, right? Not just, taking your old password and adding a 1 to the end of it. Guilty as charged. I used to do that all the time.
Yeah, you and millions of others.
And using the same password for every account is another massive mistake.
It really is. Attackers know all about password iteration. They run automated credential stuffing scripts that just guess those minor variations across hundreds of websites instantly.
That's terrifying.
You need a completely new, strong passphrase. Step 4 is arguably the most important technical defense of all. Enable multi-factor authentication, or MFA.
Okay, let's unpack MFA, because we hear that acronym all the time. But how does it actually stop a cyber criminal who, already stole my password?
Think of it this way. A password is something you know, but MFA requires something you have.
Like my phone.
Right. When you enable MFA, like using an authenticator app on your smartphone, it generates a time-based cryptographic token that changes every 30 seconds.
So even if the attacker sitting in another country has my password, they don't have my physical phone sitting on my desk to get that second code.
Precisely. It creates a physical air gap. The remote attacker cannot bridge that gap without your specific device, which renders the stolen password practically useless for direct logins.
That's brilliant.
It is. Moving on to step 5. If you downloaded a suspicious attachment, run a full antivirus scan on your device to hunt for hidden malware.
Better safe than sorry.
Always. And finally, step 6. Monitor your accounts closely for the next few weeks. Watch for strange emails being sent from your outbox that you didn't write, missing files, or unrecognized login locations.
Okay, so we have the anatomy of the attack, the psychological triggers, the technical warning signs, and the code red protocol.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did, but now we need to zoom out. Because we want to prevent the code red entirely, we need a daily habit framework, a digital mantra to keep personal and company data safe.
Well, the most effective framework used in cybersecurity awareness training is the STOP rule.
STOP rule. I like acronyms.
It is specifically designed to interrupt the psychological manipulation we discussed earlier. The S stands for stop. Literally, take your hands off the keyboard.
I love that physical separation.
Yeah.
Breaking the physical connection to the keyboard kind of breaks the emotional momentum of the panic.
Exactly. Give your prefrontal cortex a moment to reboot. The T is think. Apply critical thinking. Does this request actually make logical sense?
Right, like, would my supplier suddenly change their bank routing details via a generic email attachment?
Probably not. Then the O is observe. This is your digital detective phase. Expand the display name to see the actual routing domain. Hover over the URLs to check for redirection. Look for the context clues.
Stop. Think. Observe. And the final letter.
Key is protect. Protect your credentials by never sharing them, and protect your company by reporting the suspicious email so IT can block that sender globally.
Stop. Think. Observe. Protect. You know, we always think of cybersecurity as these endless rows of glowing servers, right?
Yeah.
Expensive firewalls and complex algorithms written by geniuses.
Sure, that's the stereotype.
But the truth is, the most powerful, effective cybersecurity tool in any modern company is a well-informed human being. The technology is just there to catch what we miss, but we are the actual gatekeepers.
We are the perimeter, which is why cybersecurity awareness in the workplace is so incredibly critical. To recap our warning signs quickly, attackers target us because human psychology is just easier to exploit than computer networks. They use fear, urgency, and curiosity to hijack our logic. You cannot trust logos or display names. You must verify actual domains and hover over links.
And if you do make a mistake,
Isolate the machine and report it immediately. Don't hide it.
all right, listener, let's do one rapid-fire real or fake challenge before we wrap up today.
Ooh, let's do it.
Okay? You receive a fake delivery notification from a major shipping company. The subject says, your package could not be delivered. Inside, there's a big button that says, click here to pay a $2 redelivery fee. What do? Real or fake?
Oh, that is a classic fake.
You got it.
It is a curiosity trap combined with a microtransaction designed entirely to steal your credit card details and your login credentials.
Yep. So what's the right move?
Never click the link in the email. Open a new blank browser tab, go directly to the shipping carrier's official website, and type in your tracking number there.
Verify through an independent channel. Boom. You are officially a digital detective.
Before we go, I want to leave you with one final thought. We've spent this entire deep dive talking about how attackers spoof text, logos, and links to manipulate our reality.
Yeah.
But technology is advancing rapidly. As AI voice cloning technology becomes cheaper and more accessible, the next phishing attack you receive might not be an email at all.
Wait, what?
It might be a frantic phone call from a voice that sounds exactly, perfectly like your CEO asking you to wire funds immediately.
Oh my gosh.
It makes you wonder, when the emergency is happening live, in real time, with a familiar voice right there in your ear, will you still have the discipline to pause for 3 seconds?
Wow. Deepfakes in the workplace.
Yeah.
That is a terrifying and very real next frontier.
Yeah.
3 seconds to save a network, whether it's an email or a phone call.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is. Well, thank you for joining us on this journey into the architecture of digital deception. Remember your STOP rule, remember the delivery driver at the door, and above all else, remember your new digital mantra.
Just think before you click.
Stay safe out there, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.